Hello students, welcome back to another new topic of English literature. Today we are going to do the topic, the lesson, The Remarkable Rocket. Now the learning objectives will be to comprehend the lesson and read aloud with proper intonation and pronunciation. Answer the reference to context questions based on the text. Learn meanings of the new words and phrases and use them to make the sentences. This lesson, that is the Remarkable Rocket, it is from page number 61 to 69. Before we begin, first we will know about the author. So Oscar Wilde was an Anglo-Irish playwright who was known for his acclaimed society plays like The Importance of Being Earnest, Lady Windermere's Fans, and A Woman of No Importance. The Happy Prince and Other Tales is a collection of short fairy tales published in 1888. The five stories, that's the short stories, in the collection were The Happy Prince, The Nightingale, and The Rose, The Selfish Giant, The Devoted Friend, and last, the topic that we are going to do today, The Remarkable Rocket. Let us begin with the lesson now. So this lesson begins with the king's son who is going to get married. So there were celebrations and preparations going on. Now, the prince had waited a long year for his bride, and at last his bride arrived. She was a Russian princess and had driven all the way from Finland in a sledge which was drawn by 6 reindeers. Her skin so pale it was that when she drove through the streets, all the people wondered. "She's like a white rose," they cried, and they threw flowers on her from the balconies. At the gate of the castle, her dear prince was waiting to receive her. Now the prince, he had dreamy violet eyes, and his hair was like fine gold. When he saw the princess, he went on his knees and kissed her hand. After the 3 days of wedding preparation, the marriage was celebrated. It was a magnificent ceremony. The bride and the bridegroom walked hand in hand under a canopy of purple velvet embroidered with little pearls. Then there was a state banquet. This banquet lasted for 5 hours. The prince and the princess sat at the top of the great hall and drank out of a cup of clear crystal. Clear crystal, that means the cup that they drank from was clear. It was transparent, colorless. After the banquet, there was to be a ball. A ball is a thing that, all the couples, they dance. First the bride and bridegroom and then the others. The bride and bridegroom were to dance the rose dance together. And the king also had promised to play the flute at his son's wedding. Now the king, he played very badly. But obviously, as he was the king, no one had ever dared to tell him because he was the king. Now, there was another surprise for the princess. The last item on the program was a grand display of fireworks to be let off exactly at midnight. The princess had never seen fireworks in her life. So the king had given orders that the royal pyrotechnician should be in attendance on the day of her marriage. A pyrotechnician is a person who is skilled, who knows everything about fireworks. So the king wanted the pyrotechnician to be with the princess so that if princess had any queries, any doubts, she could ask the pyrotechnician. "What are fireworks like?" she had asked her prince one morning as she was walking on the terrace. So the prince says, "They are like the Aurora Borealis, and the king, who always answered questions that were addressed to other people, only much more natural. I prefer them to stars myself. As you always know, when they are going to appear, and they are as delightful as my own flute playing. So he's saying basically indirectly that his flute playing was delightful for the people, and obviously no one said anything because he was the king. You must certainly see them. So at the end of the king's garden, a great stand had been set up. And so, as soon as the royal pyrotechnician had put everything in proper place, the fireworks began now to talk to each other. Suddenly, a sharp, dry cough was heard, and they all looked around. Where did it come from? It came from a tall, supercilious looking rocket who was so tired to the end of a long stick. He was tied and he was tired also. He always coughed before he made any observation so as to attract attention. Ahem, ahem, said the rocket. And everybody listened. Order, order, cried a cracker. As soon as there was perfect silence, the rocket coughed a third time and began. How fortunate it is for the king's son, he remarked, that he is to be married on the very day on which I am to be let off. Really, if it had been arranged beforehand, it could not have turned out better for him. But princes are always lucky. Dear me, said the little squib, I thought it was quite the other way, and that we were to be left off in the prince's honor. It may be so with you, he answered. Indeed, I have no doubt that it is, but with me it is different. I am the remarkable rocket and come from remarkable parents. My mother was the most celebrated Catherine Wheel of her day and was renowned for her graceful dancing. When she made her great public appearance, she spun round 19 times before she went out. And each time that she did so, she threw into the air 7 pink stars. Shh, shh, shh. She was 3 feet and a half in diameter and made of the very best gunpowder. Now, my father also was a rocket like myself and of French extraction. He flew so high that the people were afraid that he would never come down again. He did though, for he was of a kindly disposition, and he made a most brilliant descent in a shower of golden rain. The newspapers wrote about his performance in a very flattering terms. Indeed, the Court Gazette called him a triumph of the pyrotechnic art. I was thinking, suppose for instance anything happened to me tonight, what a misfortune that would be for everyone. The prince and princess would never be happy again. That is what the remarkable rocket thinks. Their whole married life would be spoiled, and as for the king, I know he would not get over this, thought also. Really, when I begin to reflect on how important I am, I almost am moved to tears. If you want to give pleasure to others, cried the Roman candle, you had better keep yourself dry. That means they're telling don't cry, otherwise you will wet yourself. Certainly, exclaimed the Bengal light. Ah, what a petty view of life, said the rocket. But it is only what I expected. There is nothing in you. You are hollow and empty. You had really better keep yourself dry, said the fire balloon. That is the important thing. Very important for you, I have no doubt, answered the rocket. But I shall weep if I choose. And he actually burst into real tears, which flowed down his stick like raindrops. Then the moon rose like a wonderful silver shield, and the stars began to shine, and a sound of music came from the palace. The prince and the princess danced so beautifully that even the flowers peeped in at the window to watch them. Then 10 o'clock struck, and then 11, and then 12, and at last stroke of midnight everyone came out on the terrace, and the king sent for the pyrotechnician, the royal pyrotechnician. Let the fireworks begin now, said the king, and the royal pyrotechnician with his 6 attendants marched down to the end of the garden. Each of them carried a lighted torch at the end of a long pole. It was certainly a magnificent display. Whiz, whiz went the Catherine wheel as she spun round and round. Boom, boom went the Roman candle. Then the squib danced all over the place, and the Bengal lights made everything look scarlet. Goodbye, cried the fire balloon as he soared away, dropping tiny blue sparks. Bang, bang, answered the crackers, who were enjoying themselves immensely. Everyone was at a great success except the remarkable rocket. And why, students? Because he was so damp with the crying that he would not go off at all. The best thing in him was the gunpowder, and that was also wet with tears, that it was of no use. Huzzah, huzzah, cried the court, and the little princess laughed with pleasure. I suppose they are reserving me for some grand occasion, said the rocket. No doubt that is what it means. And he looked more supercilious than ever. The next day, the workmen, they came to put everything tidy. Next day, the cleaning staff, they had come to clean everything. This is evidently a deputation, said the rocket. I will receive them with becoming dignity. So he put his nose up in the air and began to frown severely. But they took no notice of him at all, and till they were just doing their work. Then one of them caught sight of him. Hallo, he cried, what a bad rocket! And he threw the rocket over the wall in the ditch. Bad rocket? Bad rocket? He said as he whirled through the air. Impossible! Grand rocket. That is what the man said. Bad and grand sound very much the same. Indeed, they often are the same. Then he fell into the mud. He sank a little deeper, still into the mud, when suddenly two little boys came running down the bank with a kettle and some sticks. This must be the deputation, said the rocket, and he tried to look very dignified. Hello, cried one of the boys. Look at this old stick. I wonder how it came here. And he picked the rocket out of the ditch. Let us put it into fire, said the boy. It will help us to boil the kettle. So they piled the sticks together and put the rocket on top of the sticks and lit the fire. This is magnificent, cried the rocket. They are going to let me off in broad daylight so that everyone can see me. We will go to sleep now, the boy said. We will wake up. Till that time the kettle will be boiled also. So the boys lay down on the grass and they shut their eyes and went to sleep. The rocket was very damp, so he took a long time to burn. But at last, however, the fire caught him. The fire caught him, students. Now I am going off, he cried, and he made himself very stiff and straight. I know I shall go much higher than the stars, much higher than the moon, much higher than the sun. In fact, I shall go so high that fizz, 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 and he went straight up into the air. Delightful, he cried. I shall go on like this forever. What a success I am! But nobody saw him, not even the boys, because they were fast asleep. Students, here we end the topic and we see how egoistic the rocket was, who thought of himself that he was the greatest. But as we know at the end, and we all know the moral also, that whenever we think of ourselves and we show off and we put other people down, then we will never be happy anytime. So even if we have any talent, we should not show it off, but we should use that talent to help the other people. These are few word meaning, students. This is a recap. You need to do this, complete the following and complete the following story in your notebook. Thank you, students. I hope you all enjoyed the lesson and the moral as well. Always keep in mind to be humble. Thank you, students. Have a nice time.